Good morning, everyone. So before we officially get the service started, I invite you to get a glass of drinkable water for a little bit later in the service. I'll just wait a few seconds for anybody who would like to get a glass of drinkable water. As you may have noticed, beside me here is the protest sign created by one of the children during our RE lesson that took place in the last month. The children have been learning about activism and sharing what they hold dear to their hearts. Water is the focus for today's service, as this week we'll have World Water Day. Most of us already know the importance of water and the positive impact clean water and sanitation have on our health and well-being. We want to focus on taking action here in Nova Scotia, across Canada, and the world. Jessica will lead us in the prelude, All the Water in the World.
All the water in the world, the water in the world, from the bottom in the heavens. All the water in the world, the water in the world, pouring down from the sky. Let's look up now and get our faces wet. Let's look up now and get our faces wet with water like love pouring down. We'll get our faces wet with water like love pouring down. All the water in the world, the water in the world, flowing free in the river. All the water in the world, the water in the world, flowing free in the stream. Let's step in now and get our pant legs wet. Oh, let's step in now and get our pant legs wet with water like love flowing free. And get our pant legs wet with water like love flowing free. All the water in the world, the water in the world, welling up in the ocean. All the water in the world, the water in the world, welling up in the sea. Let's stand close now and feel the pounding waves. Oh, let's stand close now and feel the pounding waves of water like love welling up. And feel the pounding waves of water like love welling up.
Thank you, Jessica. Wonderful as always. This morning, I'd like to draw your attention to some announcements. Good morning. Welcome to the Universalist Unitarian Church of Halifax. My name is Troy Saunier. Danielle and I and our family, you can see 4 of them here, and the other one is hiding to my left. Reverend Norm Horofker is our minister. Jessica Friesen is our music director, and Marie-Claude Leroux, our director of religious exploration. This morning, John Piccolo is our volunteer technical director, with whom we would not be able to do these wonderful hybrid services. So thank you again, John. Before the service begins, as I said, a few announcements. They were sent over UU info in the order of service yesterday. First off, if you can go to slide 5, John. Our minister, Reverend Norm Horofker, is on leave and will be back in the pulpit next Sunday on March 27th for a special service with the UU Church in Bangor, Maine, celebrating the running of the maple sap in spring. I think we're all ready for spring. Following the service, there'll be a pancake brunch for all those who attended. The newsletter deadline to our dutiful editor, Etta, is due this Wednesday, March 23rd. The climate crisis team would like to remind everyone that your counselors should know that you want them to support the Halifax Climate Plan called Halifax by calling in or writing to your councillor before the budget vote this Wednesday. For more information and your councillor's contacts, see UU info message sent on Halifax that was out yesterday. The church services and COVID. In line with the changes in public health, COVID-19 provincial restrictions will no longer be requiring proof of vaccination for people attending church. We will still be requiring masks and asking people to observe social distancing until March 21st, so tomorrow, when all restrictions will be lifted. And now over to Jessica for an announcement.
Okay, so we are having our coffee house on Saturday, March 26th. And I'm excited to say it is going to be with the Church of Bangor in Maine. So please come out. We want you to be in person, and we're going to have musicians and poets. If you could email me if you're coming, that'd be great, because I don't want to get too much food or too little food. So stay tuned for more details, and I already sent out a poster and a link on UU info. Thank you.
Our church, UUCH, wants to tell you something about the land we live on. The land where our churches, our homes, our towns and cities and farms are. This land is called Mi'kmaq. We aren't the first people to live here. There were people here for thousands of years before we got here. They're called Indigenous people, and they still live here. They have a beautiful name, Mi'kmaq. We didn't live up to the promises we made with them on how to share the land, and it's not been fair to them. We have hurt the people with this beautiful name, the Indigenous people. We're trying to figure out how to make things right and to talk about it with them in ways that are helpful and not hurtful. We're going to try hard. We want to live in peace with our neighbors, the Mi'kmaq people, and acknowledge them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. That's why we do this land acknowledgement, to remind ourselves to think about and figure out ways to do this.
Now Jason and Abigail will do the chalice lighting.
What if, when I light the chalice, you hear an invitation to walk on gratitude for the earth? This week, as I got ready to light the chalice, my family talked about blessings from this planet. And Jason. Here are my list: trees, water, wheat. And now with the flame of hope, seeding light in our heart, what is your list?
It's time for our opening hymn, Water is for Life.
What do we need when the land is dry? Where do we go when the sun is high? Many will answer, water is for life. Water for you and water for me. Water for the animals, water for the trees. Water for everyone in society. We are working together to keep our water clean, treating water as a treasure in our community. The careful use of this resource is now on you and me, conserving water for a happier planet. What do we need when the land is dry? Where do we go of this resource is now on you and me, conserving water for a happier planet. We are working together to keep our water clean, treating water as a treasure in our community. Careful use of this resource is now on you and me, conserving water for a happier planet. We need clean water for a healthier planet.
So we're going to just take a moment to mindfully appreciate the wonderful clean water that we have access to. So we're going to use our water as our anchor during a very short mindful moment. So if you're able to sit comfortably and clear your mind, and it's okay if your mind has more thoughts that come back, you just see them, acknowledge them, and then try to clear your mind again. So I'm going to invite everybody to take 3 deep breaths and focus on the feeling of the air as it goes in and out. And as you do that, let your other thoughts float away. As we finish our 3rd breath, take your glass of water and take a look. What do you see? I notice calmness, the reflection of light. Take a moment to mindfully look at your water. Slowly take your glass to your mouth and take a mouthful. How does it feel in your mouth? Notice the space it's taking in your mouth. And when you're ready, swallow the water slowly and notice how it feels as it runs down your throat. For me, it was cool and refreshing. Perhaps for others, it might have been warm. Some people prefer warmer water. Take a deep breath before you take your next drink. Clear your mind of any of the other thoughts that might be coming in as you take your mindful drinks. Focus on the water in your mouth and in your throat. And when you're ready, you can put your glass down. For me, it gave me the opportunity to really be grateful for the clean water that I was able to fill my bottle with. I'm going to invite Marie-Claude Leroux, our DRE, to come for the time for all ages.
Good morning, everyone. I invite the young and the young at heart to join us in front for Time for All Ages. Oh, I see more people coming. As you know, the overarching theme this year in RE has been about activism and allyship, inspired by the social justice committees of our church. And last month, we focused on discovering the areas that concern the children the most. After weeks of exploring what matters most to them, the children created their own protest signs. It should be shown on your screens. As you can see, many of the areas are interrelated. To care for our planet and the effects of climate change is to care for our oceans. To recognize that all people count is to recognize that all people should have access to clean water. We also learned that activism comes in many forms: feeding our community, fundraising, attending protests and demonstrations, even writing to your local councillor about climate action. Activism is also about bringing awareness to an issue that matters to you, which means that putting together and being part of this service is a form of activism. Using art to bring awareness is also activism. And so I encourage the children and youth here today to be inspired by this service and use art to spread awareness about the importance of our oceans, of the world's fresh water, and of access to clean water for all. This June, so as someone told me this morning, almost 3 months, the Queen's Jubilee, a large celebration in England, will hold a procession, which is like a large parade, with 200 flags to bring awareness to healthy waterways for all those who depend on it, which is to say, every human and animal in the world. The artwork on those flags will be chosen from art created by children and youth around the world. And there will be an online gallery that will display all the designs received. So on the clipboards that you'll be able to take after this, or after the joys and sorrows, there's a sheet of paper that you can use to sketch either a rough draft or a finished piece of art that we can be submitted to be chosen for the Jubilee. The time to take your clipboards will be after the joys and sorrow. I'll invite you to come back and sit on the floor and take the clipboards and draw to your heart's content and think of a design inspired by the service. So in the meantime, you can draw some more inspiration from another youth activist, Amanda Gorman. She's a spoken word poet and who uses her voice to raise awareness. Here's a node to our ocean.
The sea sinks out to its many saviors, teenagers with fists thrust into the air, climate strikes, scientists converging around their data, a child who stoops to scoop up a piece of trash. The sea sinks out for its singular subjects, arching whales that wave from their waves, turtles that teeter down their shining shores, coral reefs shining brightly as cities. The sea sings out its suffering, knowing too much of waste, screeching sounds and pernicious poison, its depths bruised by atrocities in the Atlantic, misery in the Mediterranean, its tides the preservers of time past. The story of the ocean and the story of humanity are one and the same. A great river that knows no borders and notes no lines, only ripples. While they might call it the seven seas, today we sing out your true name, the one ocean. For no matter how we try to separate your waters, you are the colossus that connects us. Water makes up 70% of Earth, 70% of the human heart, and 70% of the human being. All of us, bodies of water, for we too are oceans, or at least beings bobbing in the same boat. To stand up for our ocean is to stand up for our own ship. The sea is a restless, strong collective of many pieces, so are we. The ocean can recover, so will we. Let us not divide the tides, but discover all they have to teach us. Green meadows of seagrass that survive pathogens, blue, bloody marine snails that can fight off viruses. There are more lessons to learn, still more work to be done. So we lift our faces to the sun. May the seas help us see healing and hope. May we sing out the ocean's survival and revival. Being the people of this blue planet is our most profound privilege and power. For if we be the ocean's saviors, then it is surely ours.
Okay. This is a sacred time in our service to reflect on our joys and sorrows. A time set apart to honor the many sorrows and many joys that you, the members and friends of this congregation, are living, and to acknowledge the mutual support of our community. We will light one candle for those who are here with us in our thoughts, and those who are struggling mentally, physically, financially, or emotionally. We light another candle. There we go. There we go. We need to share the flame. And now we light another candle for those who do not have access to clean running water. We also light a candle for all the joys that are in the room, the big joys that come along only infrequently, and the little joys that we are blessed with every day if we're able to see them. And then we also light a candle for our access to clean running water. And each week, we invite anyone who would like to light a candle to email us with the details. And I did receive one yesterday. So we're going to light one candle for Kath Anthony, who was very grateful and experienced the small joy of having the RE children help put together the Saturday brunch takeaway bags. I also invite anybody here in the room, in the sanctuary, who would like to share a joy or a sorrow. Go ahead, Mike. Right here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Belland, member of the church for a couple of years. And my joy and sorrow, I'm joyful for healing well. I'm getting around without a walker and getting stronger, thanks to lots of help from the caring committee when I was in the hospital and everything like that. I also have an announcement that's, in a way, sort of a joy and sort of a sorrow. I am leaving the place that I'm living in, and it's sort of happening in a way that I didn't want it to happen, but it's going that way. It's an eviction, and I wish I had more time to find something, but I have people helping me, and I'm working on like Shelter Nova Scotia, and I'm actually staying at the Salvation Army men's shelter on Gottingen, which isn't as bad as it sounds, to be perfectly honest. Food's good. So I don't know, I just thought I'd put that out there, because I know I've told some people and rumors spread, and it isn't a totally bad thing. I want it out of the building. It's a bit toxic, and I won't go into details, but that's what's happening. I'm going to be moving, and that's probably going to affect my involvement with the church, because where I'm living, or have been living, is so close to the church. It was very convenient to like supply keys and stuff like that. So I don't know where I'm going to, but I have people helping me work on that. So that's sort of what I'm going through. It's a mixed blessing, shall we say. So I'll light a candle for my situation, for me, yes. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Mike. That takes bravery, and the community is here with you. Any other joys and sorrows in the room?
Ukraine.
Yes, yes, please. Let's light a candle for the ongoing struggle in Ukraine against Russia, and also for, unfortunately, the Russian people who have not always received honest messages from their leadership and are involved in the conflict even though they may not want to be. And all of the areas around that region that are affected, in fact, everyone around the world that's affected. So hopefully there can be a swift resolution. I think I'd light one more candle just to looking forward to the return of our minister next Sunday and the celebration of the running of the SAP in spring. And as a reminder, we also, and after the live streaming on YouTube and before the coffee hour begins, we'll invite people to share additional joys and sorrows off camera if they would like to do so. Now Jessica will lead us in an instrumental hymn. May the joys and sorrows, both those acknowledged here this morning and those held in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, weave us together in the interdependent fabric of community. The children who would like to are invited to take their clipboards now and crayons and create a design using the coloring packages included to be submitted as part of the contest for the Jubilee. So now, John, when you're ready, before we start our reflection this morning, we'd like to get people in the mood a little bit with what we felt was an inspirational video. So John, when you're ready, if you could play the video.
Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forests, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?
Something to think about. So, this morning we wanted to really provoke some thought about our relationship with water on this planet. First off, water, 2/3 of which is comprised of the most abundant element in the universe, is the essential ingredient for the genesis and maintenance of life. Water makes up more than 60% of the human body on average, and 71% of the Earth's surface. That's why it's hard to fathom that something so critical and everywhere is in such short supply. I'm reminded of Rime of the Ancient Mariner by the English poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge, later immortalized further by the excellent Iron Maiden song. The crew of the sea vessel is cursed after killing the albatross that helped them. One line sticks with me when thinking about International Water Day. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. It rings true for very many people throughout the world, and even more for those who do not have access to modern sanitation. Billions of people around the world will be unable to access safely managed household drinking water, sanitation, and hygiene services by 2030 unless the rate of progress quadruples, according to a new report from the World Health Organization and UNICEF in July of last year. But the sad truth is, we don't even have to think about faraway lands in developing countries where this is an issue. You'll hear about an organization involved in using legal tools to fight for clean water in Canada during the offertory. They helped people in Harrietsville, Nova Scotia, whose water was poisoned with uranium, boron, lead, arsenic, cadmium, manganese, and other chemicals by a recycling plant and needed to bring bottled water to their homes. Thankfully, the federal and provincial government have now pledged $15 million to clean up the water in this area, but this will take time. I also see an intersection with the truth and reconciliation of Aboriginal people and Canadians. As the original caretakers of the land and the water we all share, we should learn from their wisdom and treat this precious resource as a treasure for a healthier and happier planet. Over to you, Danielle.
So for me, that was a big surprise. It never occurred to me that we might be having clean water issues in our own backyard, essentially. Our DRE, Marie-Claude, is my sister. I'm there all the time. Not as often as I'd like, but it never occurred to me that the reason that she has to have a water system in her house to filter out the water for us to be able to drink is because of pollution that is just up the road for her. Because I too imagine that when people are not having access to clean water, it's because they're really far away or they live somewhere very remote or it's hard to have resources sent that way. This recently, either last summer or the summer before, Marie-Claude and I went to Annapolis Valley to take a cooking class, and they had rust in their water supply, and so nobody had access to water, like their running water wasn't drinkable. And we were there for 2 days, and I kept thinking, oh my, I cannot imagine like how annoying it must be. They were having water delivered in bottles and that they would have to go to the store and get. And as we prepared for this service, it came to mind how much I take this for granted because we have access to so much here. So I think it's really interesting and important to remember that you don't have to look very far to see the need for clean water. So I'm wondering, all my busy bees in front there, if any of you have listened to that video and to what Troy was saying and what I have, to inspire perhaps your drawing. Would anybody like to show us the beginnings of their drawing? Come closer to this. I'm not sure if we can see.
You can
The
put it
camera's
close
right there
up
if
to
you
the
wanna-
camera. You can see it then.
So I'll describe it as we get ready. So Abigail has put a turtle and a fish in some water. Has there been anybody else who've started their drawing? Not yet. Does anybody have any ideas what, if somebody at home wanted to draw that picture for the contest for the flag, what might they want to add to their drawing? You can just say it and I can repeat it if they don't hear. What might be a really good idea to add to the drawing? Water, yeah, for sure. Dolphins, yeah. Sorry? Animals. Crabs, sure. Anything else? Flowers. Coral.
I heard a comment from someone else in the sanctuary about the importance of water as well for an entirely different reason. I don't know if you want to share that as well. So Colin was mentioning that it's the hydrogen age, and water, of course, is the source, our main source for hydrogen. So that's another reason why it's incredibly important as we progress.
Perfect. As I see the children have all gone back to their drawings, I'm going to introduce the next song. It's going to be performed by Jessica and Kyla, accompanied by Abigail. So this song comes from an initiative called the Water Song Project. It engages women around the world to become keepers of the water in spirit and in action. It starts with an Algonquin water song that expresses love and gratitude for the water and raises the consciousness and connection of women with Mother Nature's greatest gift. The song is easy to learn, and their vision is that millions of women will sing it, raising their own connection and awareness of the water they interact with daily, even in the shower or at the sink. They believe this is a powerful step to change, leading to both a spiritual as well as environmental shift on our planet.
I'd like you to repeat the words after me. Ni bi wa bo. N-I-N. Aki. Miskwi. Ni bi wa bo. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what this is a rain stick. Can you make, there we go. So we're gonna make some rain.
Granddaughter, the water can hear you. The water has memory. Water is the lifeblood of our mother, the earth. Water is the lifeblood of our own body.
Nibi wabo and I aki misri nibi wabo hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya oh.
To continue to pass on the knowledge that needs to be given to the other generations. You are the keeper of the water.
Hey wabo and I aki misri nibi wabo hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya oh.
To make the change in this life condition that we're in, the great-grandchildren we stand up to the truth of what life is about to live it in such an honorable way, the way ancestors come to this earth.
Nibi wabo and I aki misri nibi wabo hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya oh.
Each day when the sun rises, no matter how bad the day before might have been, there is a new chance for your hopes and dreams.
Nibi wabo and I aki misri nibi wabo hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya oh.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. So the ongoing functions of our congregation is supported by the generous monthly donations that are done through our annual pledge drive. We continue to do the ritual of the offertory to support other church initiatives, such as the Saturday morning brunch, or charities that are in line with our 9 principles. Today's collection will be for Water First. They help address water challenges in Indigenous communities in Canada through education, training, and meaningful collaboration. You can find their website and more information in your order of service. Here are a couple of other charities that you might be interested in supporting, and links can be found in the chat box. Mi'kmaq Water Walkers, Mi'kmaq grandmother Doreen Bernard and a group of people concerned about protecting water walk the water in prayer and ceremony. They have walked from Nova Scotia to Maine to raise awareness about the importance of safe and clean water. This summer, they will be walking around the Bay of Fundy, Mi'kma'ki. There's also Eco Justice, which Troy referenced earlier during his reflection. It's Canada's largest environmental law charity. They help people take governments and polluters to court, expose illegal practices, and shape new laws to meet the urgency of the climate and ecological crisis. For more than 30 years, eco-justice lawyers have represented Indigenous communities, grassroots activists, and everyday Canadians free of charge. They were also involved with the Harrietsfield water pollution. And finally, this is a global organization, water.org, as an example for how you might be able to help have clean water and sanitation globally. So here's a little video that's funny, but also that gives you a little bit more information.
Morning, everybody. Well, I'd like to start the press conference today by asking all of you a question. November 19th was World Toilet Day. How did you celebrate it? You.
Sorry, World Toilet Day? I mean, is that even a real thing?
Yeah, of course that's a real thing. November 19th, World Toilet Day. How'd you celebrate it?
I don't know. I guess I used a toilet or, you know. Come on, man, it's World Toilet Day. It's like a joke.
Oh, really? Anybody have any idea what invention has saved more lives than any other in the history of humankind? The toilet. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised that you gasped.
We didn't gasp.
I mean, what's even more shocking is the catastrophic worldwide lack of clean water and sanitation. 780 million people, that's twice the population of the United States, lack access to clean water. 2.5 billion people lack access to a toilet or basic sanitation. I mean, more people have cell phones than have toilets. For $25, you can give somebody clean water for life. 25 bucks. I mean, sir, how much is the bottle of water you're drinking? How much did that cost?
I shoplifted this.
And so, in protest of this global tragedy, until this issue is resolved, until everybody has access to clean water and sanitation, I will not go to the bathroom. Question. Yeah.
What?
I'm not going to go to the bathroom.
Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you mean literally? Like, you won't go to the bathroom, but you'll go somewhere else? Like, maybe a swimming pool?
You're the reporter. You do the math.
I don't know what that means.
I just have a quick follow-up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
No, still no. Come on! Guys, the toilet strike, it's important, all right? Who's with me? Come on!
Matt. Look, if you're saying by this strike you will not be excreting waste from your body, does that mean both caca and pee-pee? Because just caca, I'm totally with you.
Look, I implore everybody in this room, please, everybody here today, everybody watching at home, to just join me, say no to toilets, say yes to clean water and sanitation for all. Okay, that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Now, Jessica will lead us in our closing hymn.
Okay, so the words to this song are very easy. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Magic on earth, the power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. La la la, la la la. Listen to these words. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Whoa, let the earth hold you, take care of you and nurture you. The power of love is here now. Sing with me. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la.
The power of love is here now.
The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. I cannot wait to see what magic you all will create as I continue to grow alongside all of you in this wonderful community. We will leave you with a little lighthearted video. Enjoy.
I'm joining Matt Damon's toilet strike.
I'm joining the toilet strike.
Strike, strike, strike!
We pledge to not go to the bathroom
Until everyone in the whole world
Has access to clean water and sanitation.
Strike!
It's easy for me, actually, because I've never gone to the bathroom in my entire life.
I haven't peed or pooped in 4 days, and I feel great.
I also don't sweat or have body odor.
I feel like there's a troll living in my bowels.
Are we not supposed to excrete waste at all, or is it just not in the toilet?
Yeah, no, I'm not clear on that.
I've just been using the kitchen sink.
One time I thought I was going to fart, but then it came out as air freshener.
My family did move out.
It smelled like music. Does that make sense?
Strike!
You can buy it in stores. It's the most expensive air freshener in the world.
But I just bought this wonderful new air freshener, and the kitchen smells great.
Let's get this party started!
Join the millions of famous people who've already joined my strike.
Go, 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 go.
And remember, if you don't use the toilet, you're a celebrity.
That was probably a mistake.
It smells like a hummingbird singing in here.
That's me.
Is Jason Bateman here?
Support Matt's strike. Go to strikewithme.org.
It smelled like beauty, man. Beauty!
So we're going to stop the live stream on YouTube, and if there's anyone in the room or that would like to on Zoom share and have another candle lit, now would be the time before we do our coffee hour.